Hello, everybody. This lovely, hopefully, you see my face in a picture on this video. But my name is Master Juniper Bloom Mystique, and I have a very important video to talk about today. This is about the final phase we are in, what this blood moon brought through, what is truly happening in the ascension phase, because it can be hard to understand, especially when we are shrouded in shadow and our heart is not fully opened, um, to be able to process these things. Now, on my channel, you will find a lot of the Return of the Gods work. That is what I've been doing since 2019. It was my own awakening journey and part of my own soul path, uniting with my DM on 3 levels and all of that. And you can totally find that on my channel. But today I have something very, very, very important I want to talk about, okay? Because through that, the things I have brought about aren't normal, right? They really aren't. So you are looking at my playlist on my main channel. This is the Return of Christ playlist because that's what I've been doing. And recently I did a video, one of my very recent videos, you can find in the playlist and on my channel, where I talked about where we're at on the ascension phase. Actually, I haven't put it in my playlist yet. You can do that with me really quick. But it talks about where we are at in the ascension phase. Okay? Where are we on the ascension, money, presidency, and so on. What does that have to do with what happened with the red blood moon? Well, a portal opened up on the red blood moon, and I tried to show you with the Schumann resonance. It is the 13th gate of heaven, heaven on earth. The significance of the 13th gate. Have you ever heard of them talk about the 12 gates of abundance? That is false. There's actually 13 gates. It's part of what they took away from earth. It's part of what they hid from us. And what I was healing and bringing back and activating the pyramids, freeing Jesus's soul, clearing Mount Shasta, which was not of light at all. These are very real. And the whole journey is what brought us to where we're at now. But I was attacked a lot. Okay? My DM and I were both attacked, and he wasn't quite strong enough. He didn't choose to rise in the end. He took part in allowing the shadow to take down the ascension, and I didn't. I kept going. We really, truly, I spent a whole year battling for my soul in this journey. It was extremely painful and scary. I didn't know what was happening to me. It was just happening. And I almost didn't make it. There were 3 times where I shouldn't have made it, and my DM did not. Okay? So I got a walk-in. And what happened in the time of Adam and Eve and Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Sekhmet and Horus all played out on this channel. Now, the 3 days of darkness is something very important that came through last night. Okay? I did a Patreon healing last night. Here is also day 5 of the soul cleanse, the river of justice and silver and gold. And I'm going to show you that as well because it's very important. But last night in Patreon, I did a full moon healing. Okay? And it was the 13th portal. It goes with the birthing of the new earth and the stuff that happened in that is very important. The river of justice came through, and the 3 days of darkness was mentioned. And the 3 days of darkness, God said, goes along with 3 timelines that I cleared. So Jesus and Mary Magdalene, that was the first one that I was clearing. And then it went to Sekhmet and Horus, which after the battle of my DM and I went for a whole year, and I almost didn't make it. Battle of life for me and my other half. My soulmate, I kept choosing love. In the end, he was, but in the totality of the end, he chose not to keep going. And I got a new DM. I got a walk-in DM on August 30th of 22. It was very real, okay? It hurt very badly. And then after that, I undid the Holy Grail on Christmas Day, and I did not see that coming. I just knew that God kept telling me that God said that I would unite the twin souls. So twin flames will unite by me. I didn't know what that meant. I thought all the twin flames on earth. But that's not what it was. Okay. Um, I wish I would have done things differently sometimes as well. I really do. But there was, once I got a walk in DM, that was cleared, and I had about 3 months to process that. And then the next thing I knew, God said, do this on Christmas Day. And it turns out it was a resurrection, undoing the Holy Grail and the alignment of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, because my DM and I aligned on that soul level. Okay. Then I kept going, took us into 7D, and started activating the masculine pyramids, which took us into the Sekhmet and Horus timeline. This is very important. After I cleared, started doing these things, the Nile came through. Okay, the Nile's very important for what we just went through as well, and where we're at in the final phase of the ascension. It's very important to understand, because that is the river of justice, and that's what God called it last night. And I'm going to show you that. So this video might be long, but it's very important to watch. Okay? Very important to watch this video, because it's going to be everything about what we're going through right now. The Nile is the final portal. That is where I learned that there's 13 gates, not 12. And then I kept going. Okay? I processed what the Ankh really was and why the cross was false, what really happened to Jesus and Mary Magdalene. The cross was fake. He didn't die on a cross. They hung him on a cross because they stole his soul. Okay? And if you watch the totality of the undoing of the Holy Grail without judgment, because that will blind you, just be open to watch it all and what really happened. Oh my gosh, it was painful. The cross broke because they ripped apart Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul, their twin souls, and they used his blood to trap mankind and wrote what they called the Holy Grail with his blood. Then they burned him. So he never was on a cross. They broke the Ankh, which was, the Ankh was the true representation of God. Okay, masculine and feminine should be united. And it creates eternal life, eternal light. Okay. Adam and Eve. All right. But then Horus returned, and there's all kinds of other work, recalibration of the earth, Revelations 21:13, processed Earth's death. Okay. Very important. Jesus' soul reunited with my new DM, because when I processed his death, it went into a flower in the Garden of Eden. My DM was not ready to take that on. And I didn't understand all this until it happened. But this is very important because it should be honored. It should be seen for what it is. And then Horus returned. He rose from the Sphinx and united with my DM. And then I re-released the Nile, because the first one was the audio. This one is the video. It was very important to understand that. So that happened in 23. But I kept going, and I undid religion. I brought down Christ's light into the trees instead of the 144,000, which keeps showing in the Schumann resonance. But this one right here is the most significant, and this one right here is the most significant, and then day 8. Okay, all of these were mentioned in the portal last night. Okay, this one, God shifted plans because I kept getting attacked. People were not respecting the work. A lot of people were supposed to rise with me to help clear the return of Christ, and they didn't. They kept bringing the shadow in. And God said enough. Okay, so we can't keep doing that. We can't keep bringing the shadow into this work, because it's the end of duality. And I think the lack of understanding to what that does to our soul is a detriment. And so God said enough. And this video is super important to watch. Okay, God shifted plans. Portal of the Nile is now. Urgent wrath path now. 7 years tribulation, abrupt ending. And here there was a channeled message. Let's listen to it really quickly. I want to take us to what matters. Okay, literally shifted today, and I didn't see it coming. So listen, we had... It's good to me. Oh my gosh, okay. 7-year tribulation has come to an abrupt end. Wait, let me see. I have to watch every word. 7-year tribulation period has come to an abrupt early end. and rightfully so. They're telling me to slow down. I'm sorry, it's just so much information I'm processing. And then what we just did in the Nile workshop in Patreon, the earth just went to the Nile portal, okay, which wasn't supposed to happen for about another year. We had another year left, and I'm getting chills. But it has now come to an abrupt end because of the way everybody treated the return of Christ. The way people are not wanting to rise, the way they're choosing not to see, it's all free will, and throwing judgments constantly at it. So now we are in the Nile portal, okay? Literally shifted today, and I didn't see it coming. So listen, we had a year left for that, by the way. 7-year tribulation has come to an abrupt early end, and rightfully so. Heart measurements and actions have more cleansing. Okay, so nobody cleansed enough. Nobody wanted to cleanse enough. And reset is required at this time. So it's basically a complete reset of mankind. Justifications, willing blindness, and lack of communications, and willingness. Okay, let me read this because this part's a little wonky. I channeled it just as I got it from God. Justifications, willing blindness, and lack of communications and willingness to be love unconditional has caused an abrupt change and shift and plans of rearrangement. I'm going to make sure I slow down because I'm processing this stuff. It's just coming through me. I know the work that I did, and I've been trying to get people to be excited for undoing the Holy Grail and stuff on Christmas Day, but I couldn't do it. I did so much, and I guess it is what it is. So I'm going to read that passage one more time. Justifications, willing blindness, and lack of communications and willingness to be love unconditional has caused an abrupt change and shift and plans of rearrangement. This is very relevant. This is very important because I've told you a while ago we had about 2 years left, but I also told you that God could change his mind depending upon how people responded. And stillness, calmness, and the lack of want to rise. A power pull on the light and the love of the one I sent to you has gone unchecked. What was most important has not been love. To seek truth beyond illusions and honor to the one right in front of you. They want me to read that again. What was most important has not been love. To seek truth beyond the illusion and honor to the one right in front of you has left sadness in its wake. It is time now to feel the earth shake. To cleanse and purge what does not belong. To make way for what has been our home all along, Adam and Eve's. Those that want love, joy, honor more than money, power, and greed will rise. Others will now meet their karmic demise. Make way for justice through God's eyes. Listen to this line very carefully because I had to actually process this one too. Heart measured deferment of karmic demise. So there was a delay in the karmic demise. It no longer is, okay? So heart measured deferment of karmic demise. Your hearts were measured, and then the karmic demise was being held. They were still measuring. They were still seeing if anybody was going to choose to rise and how people were going to respond. And because of the way they responded, God chose a sudden end and a shift now. Love unconditional is now on the rise. I will read it one more time, and then you can watch what came through today in Patreon.
Today in Patreon, I did a healing for my Patreon members with the full moon. I always do that. Sekhmet and Horus. That's Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus are the same souls, just different lifetimes. We kept coming back trying to clear things, and they kept destroying us, okay? This time, I somehow survived it on my own. I do have a walk-in DM that is supposed to also rise. You're going to see a little bit of that in the Patreon healing today. I am going to show you the Patreon healing because God, I didn't see this coming after this message yesterday, okay? I'm going to read it one more time very carefully. Listen to God. This was God's message yesterday. 7-year tribulation has come to an abrupt early end, and rightfully so. Heart measurements and actions have more cleansing and reset is required at this time. Heart measurements and actions have more cleansing and reset is required at this time. Do you understand what that means? That means not a lot of people chose love at all. Justifications, willing blindness, and lack of communications and willingness to be unconditional love has caused an abrupt change and shift and plans of rearrangement. I was still processing this last night. Stillness, calmness, and the lack of want to rise. A power pull on the light and the love of the one I sent to you has gone unchecked. And that was what happened to me. What was most important has not been love. To seek truth beyond illusion and honor to the one right in front of you has left sadness in its wake. It is time now to feel the earth shake, to cleanse and purge what does not belong, to make way for what has been our home all along. Those that want love, joy, honor, more than money, power, and greed will rise. Others will now meet their karmic demise. Make way for justice through God's eyes. Heart measure deferment of karmic demise. Love unconditional is now on the rise. Okay, this was yesterday's channel message from God. The return of Christ all plays out on that ascension playlist on my channel. There's more only in the path to righteousness, but most people mocked that too. And God told me to put all my work together for 5 years, so I did. And that is the path to righteousness. So most of what I did is in there, from all the clearings of the moon to Fiji part 2, to helping you bring through your karma, to helping you clear it, to getting you through every portal and everything. That was the path to righteousness. The rest, you're going to play out in the earth like everybody else. But the final phase shifted from 2 years to now. Okay. God abruptly changed it. So you're about to watch the workshop now that came through today for my Patreon people. I didn't know what was coming. Please watch it diligently from the beginning to the end.
So in this one, let's skip a little and watch.
I don't know what's coming. I call on this black moon, I think it is, full black moon, the energy of this full moon to still be present with us today.
Now I will tell you, the one that I did last night, I'm going to also play. This is a long video, but it's very important to watch. I also told you in the predictions for 2025, which is on this channel, that we are going into the exodus of Egypt. Okay, the Nile is the water supply for that area. So the predictions of 2025 are also relevant in that. I totally talked about the exodus of Egypt. Look at the title, Exodus of Egypt. Okay. So it's all kind of making sense to me more and more after what happened last night. So this video right here that you're watching happened, and then God said, it's time. I didn't know what was coming. I never know what's coming. I just show up and do the work. Then I started birthing New Earth. And last night, the sun and the moon eclipsed, okay? And God did something to my DM and I. The portal of heaven opened up, the gates of heaven, the 13th gate opened up. And then God said, we are all at the river of justice. And then he also, and I told you that was coming. Day 5 of my soul cleanse recently, about a couple weeks ago, was the river of justice and judgment. And you're going to watch that too. Okay, so I'm going to play all this for you. But it's important to watch it because, you guys, what we're going through is very real. And the more you know, the more your heart opens, the more you choose love, the more you rise, because it's only the pure hearts that will make it. Okay, that's not a maybe. You have to heal all karma. But in this one, I start implementing the Nile portals. Then in something else that's really important to see that you can't see on the channel that I'm going to show you. Okay, because in the path to righteousness is where I put implementing all the 13 portals. So you won't see all of that on this channel, but I'm about to show you some of that, okay? Because it's very important to understand it. So this is where I have my courses. This is where I have the path to righteousness, okay? Very important. God actually did have me put all of the Return of Christ work in there, because if I put it all on my channel for everybody to have access to and they bring a shadow into it, it hurts them. It's for those that wanted to rise through the one. And so I'm going to show you that after this one came through, okay, this was in Patreon about 7 months ago, then I started birthing the new earth. And this portal we just went through last night is very big. And he talked more about the 3 days of darkness. He talked about how they actually represent the timelines of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. And those were 3 lifetimes that I've been clearing since 2019 with my DM and I. But when I started doing all of that, in the path to righteousness is the only place I put this. Let's see. Oh, these are bringing down all of the Christ rays. I did it through all the rays of light. There was lots of moon healings on here you can't find on my channel. I healed and changed the moon so much. It's been reborn. So birthing new earth, okay? Day 1, those are the 8 days of birthing new earth. And then the 13 gates of abundance healing meditation, because there's not 12 gates, there's 13. All right, so in this one, it's 13 gates of abundance healing. It's what you actually need to heal to have that prosperity in new earth and the matrix components. Now, this was the 13 steps to heaven. That's what God called it. This is very important to see, okay? But only if you do the path to righteousness do you have access to everything that I did. It's all of the Return of Christ work, and I mean everything. It has everything you need. All you have to do is choose love, because it's a lot of healing. It truly is. You have to do the healing. You really do. So, and that's why in this one, God said, enough. Basically, you're on your own. But in this one, it was Pyramid Portal Integration 1 of 13, Stairway to Heaven. So I was implementing the pyramids into the earth. Pyramid integration, okay? And those are the pyramids I've been activating since 2019. There were 13 of them. And I believe number 6 was the portal of the mind. One of them was the red dragon. These were pretty intense, pretty amazing. And it would take a lot to show all you guys these, but I wasn't told to. I was told to put them in here. 7, portal number 7 had 2 days. They were big deals. So Pyramid 8, New Earth Rising. So again, these are all revelations. The portal of the mind, we had the red dragon, the deep blue sea. It's all in here. So I was actually implementing the portals into the earth after this one. Okay, but that's only available in the path to righteousness. Can you purchase that still? Yeah, but everybody kind of didn't see the honor that that was, unfortunately. You know, there was a lot of attacks on me the whole time, a lot of attempts to take my power and my light, a lot of focus on that, on greed and judgment and envy rather than love, that kept being brought into the work. Now, in this one that I'm about to show you, God actually cleansed all of the return work from those energies because they didn't make it. So this is a very important video to watch here. Okay, I start taking us into the Nile, and then after that one, it was implementing the work of the Nile into the earth. And then I implemented all of the portals, and this is what you've been rising through very, very, very quickly. And I know this is a lot. Okay, I understand that. I recommend you watch this. Okay, it's on my channel from 7 months ago. Okay, it came up again in last night's healing on the blood moon 13th gate opening. The gates of heaven opened up, and this one came through again. It was very relevant, so I encourage you to watch it. We're not going to watch it all here, but I was on like this, it's like we were at the Nile.
So when you're ready to receive this, just put your feet on the floor and your palms face. As they're like pouring it in, and it's going down to my feet, and it's filling up from my feet. My feet are filling with the sun. My ankles, my calves, my knees, my thighs, my hips.
Anyways, I encourage you to watch that one. We're going to move on. So now I'm going to show you this one. Okay, so like I said, God shifted plans. You heard his message. This was about 7 months ago. And then I implemented the Nile portal beginnings. And then I went through and implemented all the pyramid activations I've done since 2019, you'll find on my channel, into the earth. So this put it all into action. Okay, I wasn't just activating the pyramids. I anchored them into earth. So now the earth is ascending, and these are the things and the lessons and the trials and tribulations of Revelations 21:12. Okay, where you have to be and release yourself from the matrix. You cannot choose matrix and rise. You cannot be duality. Okay, you cannot be duality. There are 13 gates, not 12. All right, the only way to find prosperity is rising into new earth. It will not remain anywhere else. Okay, that's not a maybe. So we had birthing new earth, but keep in mind, as soon as I did this one, God had me implement all 13 portals into the earth. Okay, then I birthed the new earth, which you can see the birthing the new earth on my channel. So that is where these become very relevant. Okay. So what aligned with this new portal was this one that I just showed you a little bit of. Day 1, day 2 was the planetary alignment we just went through, and day 3 was the sun and the moon. Then God talked about the river of justice being the Nile, the 3 days of darkness representing Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Sekhmet and Horus timelines, and your judgment through them. And then day 8 came through, and that is the life, death, rebirth cycle portal. Okay, that's the one you go through past the Nile, and we are now in the final portal, the final phase, which is what I told you recently. So this one was the day 5 soul cleanse, the river of justice of silver and gold that I told you guys, and then after this one, I will play last night's blood moon portal. So as I'm singing, I'm actually singing musical notes, seeing musical notes come out of my throat. So we're upping the frequency. And on the left side, it's like beautiful open land and trees, and there's mountains off in the distance and stars and the moon glowing right above. And on the right, it's the same thing, nighttime. Land, trees, mountains, waterfall. There's a waterfall on the right, and we have the river coming towards us in the middle, and then the sun is off on the right as well as the stars in the night sky. Tranquility, deep water release, water,
Deep water release. Water, water. Calling on the water gods. Water, water. We have Zeus and Poseidon stepping forward. Water, water. Bailaya, bailaya, canto. Water.
So day 2 of the soul cleanse, they called me the white buffalo woman. And I didn't understand that either. And I uploaded that, I do believe, on my channel. So let's see. Oop. I'm just going to show you that really quick. Day 2 of the soul cleanse had to deal with the white buffalo woman, and I didn't understand that. I had to look at what that meant. Here it was. White buffalo woman returns of the gods, soul cleanse number 2, and I uploaded that for people to see. If you actually look that up, it's representative of a comparison of Jesus for Christianity, and who she is. Okay, so that's also relevant. But let's keep listening because this is very important.
Water.
I channel these. I don't know what's coming in these. I'm a pure channel. I channel them through and I do the work. And the language I speak is of God. I get scrolls from God in all of these, and I got a scroll last night as well to open up the 13th portal. So when I told you we are in the final phase, that's also very true.
Water.
This is important because this is the one where all of a sudden I go to a river, and I didn't put it together. It was the Nile fully until last night on the blood moon. And I kept telling you in the Schumann resonance what was happening, and God wanted me to start talking about the Schumann resonance. Now, there's a reason for all of it, okay? The 13th power of 13, the 13 gates, again, 13. I showed you there were 13 pyramids. Those are on my channel, but I also implemented them into the earth. These are super cool. I would show you all of these. It would take a long time. This one was almost 3 hours long. Look at that, almost 3 hours long, an hour and a half. These are intense. And I was implementing the portals into the earth, and we would go up a step. So it was like stairways to heaven. 13 gates. You guys, there's 13 gates, 13 portals. So the work I do is very real, and it's been right here the whole time. The whole time. And some people have asked me why not everybody sees who I am. Here's the thing about that, is when my DM was alive, the original one, I was moved right next door to him, and everybody could see me. At that point, everybody could see things. There were lots of people paying attention. On my channel, the numbers were much higher. People were seeing it. And then we were attacked tenfold. We were attacked. He took off with the fallen once we had our souls began to align. And the attack ensued tenfold. And I fought very hard for his soul. I freed it, which aligned with the Jesus and Mary Magdalene timeline, the Holy Grail, and what happened to him. And all of that played out on my channel over these last few years. It was very real, very painful. My arm was attacked and shattered. My solar plexus was blown out several times. And God kept saying I was attacked by the fallen. And in the end, he chose not to rise, and I actually got a walk-in twin soul. Okay, once I got that, and the new walk-in DM did not step up like he was supposed to, because it's big shoes to fill. He was scared. He let fear kind of take over, which is not what we want to do. But because we are not physically together, people can't see totality. Okay, so it's up to you to be able to push past that resistance and see these things for what they are. But when you ask if that's who you are, why doesn't everybody see it? Number one, you can't see past the shadow. Okay, your heart has shadow in it, and you can't see past it. You can only see to where the shadow takes you. So if you have a lot of shadow, you're not going to see who I am. Number two, a lot of people kept bringing a lot of judgment into the path, which affects all of you. And they should not have done that, which is why God said enough. Okay, that's why God said enough. We've had enough. You cannot continue to bring light into the shadow and shadow into the light. And I said that when I was undoing the Holy Grail. I said that when I was bringing down the blood of Christ, that we cannot be duality anymore. It is now a karmic shift. So to continue bringing shadow into this work and continue attacking me and those things that kept happening, it was a detriment to all of mankind. So this is why my DM matters so much, Return of Christ, Adam and Eve, because it takes both eyes to see. So the DM affects all of man. The feminine affects all of the feminine side. We both affect all of mankind. That is true. So our being ripped apart is what divided and blinded and created this false matrix system, and the shadow would use all of mankind to continue to rip that apart and give their power of the light to the shadow. That is why it is up to you to rise. You cannot do that anymore. You have to finally choose to grow as a soul and choose love and light. That's the difference. Choose love, not power, over the light, right? All connected. So this one was done on...
So there is rain coming out of the sky, a cleansing rain. It's beginning to sprinkle the warmest, most gentle rain, but also very powerful. Like the water drops are heavy and cleansing, but also gentle. They don't hurt.
Recently.
Coming out of the sky and beginning to fall upon us.
So that God's tears were coming out of the sky is also important and came up again last night because God cried a tear of blood for my DM and put it in the Nile. So let's listen.
It's like I can feel the raindrops on my head, rolling down my body. Raindrops, rain, rain, water, water, water. Almost like if God was crying tears and they were cleansing and filled with love and cleansing. Those are coming down from the heavens above and cleansing us with the gift of love. And Saint Genevieve is above me, your guides are above you, pouring liquid gold down our silver cord. The nectar of light, liquid gold, and I just see an angel coming in. I saw the heavens open up and the most beautiful angel stepping forward. Angel of mercy, angel of mercy, angel of mercy. Another angel's coming forth. So I have Saint Josephine, or Goddess Josephine, and also the second angel that just stepped forward. So they're two different things. Angel of growth, angel of mercy, angel of growth. Saint Josephine is how she's stepping forward. Saint Genevieve is my healer, right? But Saint Josephine is now stepping forward. The angel of mercy and the angel of growth. Next is the angel of justice. Angel of justice. Algonquin, my dragon, the beautiful dragon. And just see yourself standing in that dividing line of water. The moon on the left with the beautiful sky and scenery, and the moon and the sun on the right with the same, the stars, the night sky, the trees, but a waterfall on the right and mountains on the left. The gentle rain of cleansing heaviness coming down like God was crying tears of cleansing and love. Feel the raindrops touching you ever so gently, magnificently, and powerfully too. It's cleansing our aura and our soul. Soul cleanse, soul cleanse, soul cleanse. So those angels that step forward, mercy, justice, growth, Saint Josephine, Gamparayo, are putting something in our water, unique to us, depending on what we need for our healing. The Akashic records are also coming in with Saint Germain. Malachi, Metatron, and Sandalphon with Seraphim angel energy is also stepping forward. River of change, river of diversity, river of judgment, river of justice. So one of us gets the river of judgment and the other gets the river of justice. Discernment required. And now, Saint Josephine is taking a cup of that river water and giving it to us to drink. We will drink from the river justice, and you will drink from the river of judgment. Don't assume you know why or what's happening. Just be present and do what needs to be done, or whatever that means, because we don't really know. It's a soul cleanse.
Now, I have to tell you, if you watched the Nile video, it started out with the angels giving me gifts. I thought that's all we were getting is gifts that day. And then all of a sudden they took me away from the group energetically and put my feet in this water. And then the next thing I knew, I was starting to process Sekhmet timeline. And I cleared a crystal from the core of the earth from darkness back to light. They had thought they destroyed the light crystal and took over the core of the earth. Throughout the journey, I kept detaching us from the core of the earth for a reason. When I would activate the pyramids and things, I would detach everybody from the core. I didn't understand until this. So I cleared that crystal, and then I began purging everything into the river, and it turned blood. Then after that, it dried out, and I shot the crystal of darkness across the collective whole. So the 3 days of darkness are the judgment of the timelines of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. And that came through in last night's journey. This is very complex, but very important to understand. Okay, so the river of the Nile, very important to watch. And I asked God what it meant that it turned to blood red, and he said it was everything that we are purging. And in last night's healing that I'm going to show you, that I did last night, it's in Patreon as well. He actually put a tear of blood in the river, and it was for my old DM. God did. He gave me a clean tear. It was not red, but then he cried a tear of blood and he put it in the river, and it was to honor my DM. And I cried. So you have to understand these are very important to watch. This one gets painful for me because just watch. They are time. It's time. I channel all these through. I do the work. I've been doing the work nonstop since my awakening in 2019. I just kept following my heart center, listening to every nudge of God, and surviving every battle we did not think I would survive. And there came a point where God said, now it's just a blessing. The fact that we made it this far is just, everything's a blessing. It's done. It truly is complete. The return of Christ, truly, love did truly win. That's not a joke, and it's nothing to be mocked. It's very real, because that's what I kept choosing. That's your choice. It's the matrix or love. Do you give your power to the shadow, or do you do the work to rise above? Because it takes work. Okay, it really does take the healing, the work, the choices, and that's why God had me put it all in a path to righteousness, because as you've seen, those that actually had a chance to do it all and even to witness it on here kept throwing their shadow into the work. And that's not a good thing. You can't do that, because you don't understand what it does to your soul. Okay? This is the end of ways. It's the end of the line. So the 3 days of darkness came through again last night and last night's, which was the blood moon portal, which we're going to watch next. Super important to watch both to understand the totality of what I keep talking about, because it keeps happening through me. Yeah, let's just watch.
So I will drink the water. Becoming one with the river. Becoming one with our river. Three things will now be brought forward. 3 on your side and 3 on mine, because we're in different settings but the same at the same time. If that makes sense? Different paths, different experiences, but the same cleanse. So 3 things will be presented on this river of water.
Three things. Here we are again with the number 3. So God said last night, 3 days of darkness truly makes more sense to the alignment of your judgment through those those specific timelines. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. And those are the 3 I have been clearing in all of the Return of God's work. Those are the 3 where I had to realign with my DM on 3 different levels, because that's where they ripped us apart from each other. And yeah, let's watch.
I have the angel of mercy coming forward on mine.
And since I was doing the work, it was the angel of growth. I kept thinking it was the angel of grace. Angel of growth, it says, could be Metatron. But also other angels that do help with growth is Raphael, Gabriel. And so, yeah, that's that.
I don't know what's coming forward on yours. And she's doing something to my throat chakra. The river of justice is coming up my feet, my ankles, my calves, my knees, my thighs, all the way up to my throat. Angel of mercy is cleansing now my throat. There's something in my throat. Judgment. Oh, this is like the gate, right? Like, which side are we on the gate? So it's judgment. Somebody threw judgment at me. It's not of mine. Same things happen to you, different angel. Your river of judgment rising up through you to your throat. I can put the drum now down so I can fully receive the healing. So there's energy of silver now coming through on mine. So remember I said 3 things. First was the angel of mercy, and she pulled others' judgment out of my throat. Now it's silver for me. I don't know what's coming down for you. You should have one thing and then another. And for me, the river of justice is rising up to meet my heart and my throat. But it's silver. It's like a titanium frequency. It's like a silver frequency. Cleansing with silver. Blessings of silver and gold. Silver. Cleansing with silver. Blessings of silver. The angel of mercy. Drawing through the silver river of justice through my heart and my throat. And whatever is happening for you and whoever stepped forward for you. Feel the raindrops coming down and cleansing. So give space to experience what you're experiencing, to see what you're seeing. It's the river of justice and the river of judgment. And we are drinking from it. Two things have emerged from that river. And next for me is Saint Josephine. Walking up the river, and it looks like it's like masculine and feminine energy coming forward at the same time with Saint Josephine. Saint Joseph and Saint Josephine. I don't know what that means. But wearing like this blue robe, and this person, this being, it's like Saint Joseph, but also Saint Josephine. I'm seeing both energy, like literally two energies here coming, and I feel like it's I don't know. Coming up my river.
As I'm watching this, I just burped to release again. I'm so sorry. So I do burp when I release. I can't help it. It's something we get used to, anybody that works with me. Okay.
Of justice. Walking through the water. Walking through the water. And cleansing my feet. They came up with like this towel. Would look like a towel. And they bend down and they're putting it at my feet and cleansing my blessings. Blessings of the river of silver and gold. So that's what they're saying. The river is like gold and silver, and it's blessings of the river of silver and gold, and they're cleansing my feet. And I don't know what's coming up for you, but is your third being and your third thing. And the rain gets a little heavier, and it's pouring down and cleansing. Pouring down tears of God, like love, right? Love and cleansing tears from God.
So that loving tears from God came through again last night. I told you God shed a tear for me, and it was clear, and then it cleansed. Honor. He said it was honor, I think. We're going to watch that next. And then he shed a tear for my old DM, and it was blood, and he put it in the river. And if you watch the river of Nile, it turns blood dry. Everything pours out of me, and it turns to blood red. This is actually me. I didn't realize me at the Nile River processing all that was done. So let's listen. And the 3 days of darkness represent Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. But let's listen.
And I just hear make way for justice. It's like, I get the image of like Jesus rising out of the river. That's...
Did you hear that?
Just some images like rising out of the river, and I hear make way for justice. And also...
Let's listen again to that.
And I just hear make way for justice. It's like, I get the image of like Jesus rising out of the river. That's just some images like rising out of the river, and I hear make way for justice. And also blessings of silver and gold. And I get this image of coming to my feet and like placing at my feet, and then also a cleansing of my feet. Very strange.
It gets painful. I'm sorry
And
about
then
the burping.
Genevieve, my healer, right? She's doing the healings, pouring down more nectar of light. She's also going through my heart space and just removing any other debris, like strings. Like the strings, just removing strings of debris. And then something with the Akashic records pouring out into the river and coming towards us. So something with Saint Germain and the Akashic records is like pouring out into the river and coming towards us.
Life reviews. Portal 8. The Nile River. The final portal. Blood red. It's all here. Just keep listening very carefully.
New task paths. New path tasks. Whatever that means for us.
By the way, this is like the end of that time, and now all of a sudden it's a new path unfolding. I'm gonna change what I've been doing. I don't want to give too much because it's my journey, but it's a new path unfolding from this moment forward, and I'm getting chills. That's actually processing through me right now, because those are the cards I've been pulling the last few days, is let go of what once was, and it's like doing things new now. It's now a new path, because I served all of this. You guys, I'm telling you, we're in the new earth. Just keep watching.
And then I'm also seeing the green, like vines on our head, our right wrist, and our left ankle. And then the angels are coming up and cleansing my hands and my palms with the river of silver and gold. That's what they're calling it. I don't see exactly what's happening for you because it's separate. There are two separate things happening. You have your river, they're calling the river of judgment. I don't know what that means. I'm not making assumptions, I don't know. And then you should have had 3 things and 3 beings come forward on that river. And mine is my play out. So I don't see all of what's happening with you. They're not showing me everything. It's separate. It's 2 different experiences of the same healing. All together. Oh. The angel of mercy stepping forward, and I feel like this drawing out of me. Oh. Like I see myself, like I'm tired, you know what I mean? Like my soul is tired, and so they're calling this a soul rejuvenation. So it's kind of like a spa day in a way, where all these angels and beings, and they're just kind of rejuvenating my soul with a river of silver and gold. And I don't know all what's happening to you. It deals with your river, your things. This is weird. I didn't know this was happening. I have no idea what is happening. I'm just bringing it through what I see.
I'm still processing it to this day. This was about a week or 2 ago, honestly. We just finished the soul cleanse not too long ago. And then before last night, I kept getting the downloads of the Schumann resonance showing that we are the power of 13, all the timeline jumps, and the implementation of the new Earth blueprint, taking us back to this day 1, 2, and 3. We just went through the planet. So I've been showing you guys, look what's happening, because Spirit's been nudging me. And then last night we went into the blood moon eclipse. And when I did that workshop, it aligned even more. And then I learned the river of justice is the Nile River. And I told you recently, we are in the final phase. We are in the portal of the Nile. After I implemented it and God cut time short, he had me implement all 13 gates of heaven. It's the 13 steps to heaven. Okay. The 13th gate is heaven on earth. And those that make it through all 13 trials and tribulations of God or Matrix make it into New Earth and others don't. But you guys, you need to listen to these. I go through a lot of pain on this, and it takes time, but it's important to watch all details. And then honestly, what better time do we have than to watch and process the return? That's where we should be, right? There's nothing more important. There really isn't.
And then the energy of like the rainbows coming in, that's what I see on my journey, my path. I don't know what's happening on yours. If it is, I don't know. But it's like this rainbow energy, and it's almost like walking the rainbow and cleansing with the rainbow rays. So cleansing with the rainbow rays now. So the angels are bringing forth the rainbow rays for me to cleanse with, and they're still cleansing me with the water of silver and gold, the river of silver and gold. I don't know what that means. I saw Jesus rise out of it too. I hear justice on its way. They're cleansing my energy. They remove judgments from my throat that were not mine. This is a soul cleanse. So whatever our soul needs at this time, that's what this is about.
I did not realize until now the totality of what was happening in this. I was at the River of Justice. So when it comes to last night's full moon, blood moon, so this was the black moon, and the last night's was the blood moon, I got further details, and so will you.
Rejuvenation of the soul as well, I'm hearing, because I definitely...
That's why it takes every piece of the puzzle. It takes every piece of healing. It takes every piece of the puzzle. And if you don't push past the resistance to get there, so remember he said justifications and judgments, and people weren't pushing past that.
I see that. I get the image of me being very tired and battered and just needing rejuvenation, needing my well filled, you know? Whoa. I see the tree of life coming up on the side of the sun. And then it kind of moved over to the end of the river in front of me. So my foundation is shifting, and I just need to shift with it, and that's what they keep saying. They are helping to guide my change in foundation. And this validates a message I got earlier. Oh my God. Yep. Okay. This is so validating. So they are helping change my foundation. They're shifting my foundation and guiding it through. So just follow every guidance, every nudge. Different. Like, this is new. This is a different foundation. So I had a journey, right? And now that journey, that purpose on the journey has shifted. And so they're shifting my foundation to New Earth. So because I was in the old Earth bringing the New Earth through, now my foundation is being built in the New Earth. And so I must follow their guidance. And that's what they're telling me. And it's about building my and I saw this in the message earlier. I saw this. Oh. So Saint Genevieve is going into my root chakra foundation. Makes sense. It's so cool. I don't know what's happening for you necessarily. I don't think it's the same things. It's going to be a little different. So just pay attention to what's happening. The angels that came forward are the ones helping to bring this through and guide this through individually. So yours is different than mine. That's what I keep hearing. Similar river things coming forward, but specific to you. For me, I keep hearing make way for justice served. And then I see me sitting on my throne. I'm not alone. And I get the image of crowns on our heads, and I get the image of like royalty, like river of justice, but also new foundational stuff. So this has to do with like my root chakra, the foundation of new earth, king and queen. I am the giver of light, of life, love, all around. So bringing in those rays of pinks and greens and upping the frequency of love through me is what they're saying. To embody all that light and love. And I have my staff suddenly with the sun in it. And a snake on my head. Within my crown. I see more raindrops coming down and the water's coming up. So the river of justice and cleansing and silver and gold is what I keep hearing. I don't know what that means. But it's rising up and purging out. Oh, I can feel it. Going up now to the sacral. St. Genevieve's moving from the root to the sacral. Refining focus. They're helping to refine my they're helping me in a great deal because of everything that I've gone through. Probably, I don't know, but probably because I'm just the support needed right now. Helping get what I deserve. Oh my gosh. Wow. Purging my chakras and bringing in higher frequencies of love. River of justice, of silver and gold. I don't know what that means. I also saw Jesus rise from it. I have no idea. I can't quite put all this together. Wow. Still in my sacral. She hasn't quite moved all the way up, but she's somewhat going up to like the navel, a little bit towards the solar plexus area, to the other chakras in my system. And I get the image of me going through a gate. So it's like a rainbow gate, cleansing of the rainbow portals. So it's almost as if I'm getting a few things happening at once. I am, is what they're saying. So like this rainbow portal going through me and upping my frequency through the rainbow portals. Remember I said rainbows are here. There's a lot going on. And I don't know what's happening for you because it's a different path. Something different's happening. I don't know what it is though. And I make no judgments about it. Like I don't, I say that lightly, but I keep hearing like river of judgment. That could be many, like it's just what you need to drink from right now. It's just what you need for your soul cleanse. Oh, I can feel it. It's like this. Whoa. Oh.
She's moving slowly up towards my solar plexus. More. My ear just popped with that one. That was weird. And Saint Genevieve is bringing in the sun into my solar plexus. So it was rebuilt last time, so now she's activating it with the sun. And recalibrating it with the sun and the moon. Oh, goodness me, I could feel that. And I also see the tree of life. So the tree of life is in the center of my solar plexus. The river of silver and gold flowing to me. And then the moon is calibrating into it. The sun is calibrating into it. And she's doing all of this. And I feel it. It's intense. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Whoa. Oh. Oh, and I feel like I'm going through another rainbow portal. Just raising in frequency, and as it's happening, it's like pushing more out. Tissue, healing. Saint Joseph and Saint Josephine, I see both. Like cleansing at my feet, my energy with the river of silver and gold, river of justice and silver and gold. I don't know what all that means. I'm like so wanting to know. The angel of mercy keeps bringing cleansing forward as well, like towards my palms and my energy with light and pinks and green rays. And then Saint Genevieve is doing the chakra stuff. Oh, I could feel it. It's like this. Oh. So I also see a repair of the eye of lotus. So we did that healing, the eye of the lotus, and it was compromised. And so they're purifying that. It's like me rising out of the center of the lotus again, and they're calling me the crest of God. Oh, my head hurts. They're removing energy out of that did not belong. Oh, it's like this thing in my soul. I could feel it. And I can feel it rising. It's like this ball in my insides just rising. And Saint Genevieve is doing stuff in my solar plexus. Feel very dizzy again, like weird ethereal expansion stuff. And I hear, get ready for this, and then she's like pushing something up from the solar plexus. Oh. And she's pushing it up. Oh God, I can feel it. I get another image of like the phoenix rising out of my solar plexus. Oh. It's intense. It's not pleasant. It kind of hurts, and it gets up to my throat. It feels like it's lodged. Oh. I feel like I'm like throwing up all kinds of debris. Leftover debris from the attacks on my journey is part of what I hear. And then I hear again justice served and cleansing from the river of justice of silver and gold. And then Saint Genevieve is like pushing this out of my chakra system while she's implementing the sun and the moon and the tree of life into my solar plexus. And then also my DNA is rereading my new chakra system, like because it's been changed and upgraded and healed and stuff the other day. So it's like a DNA cleansing. Oh, and repair, they said. Oh, this was intense. And I don't know what's happening for you. It's so weird. I'm not fully guiding this one. I'm just saying what's happening. This is a soul cleanse for both of us. So, oh, ow, ow, ow. Repairing damage of the twin flame soul cortex is what I hear, whatever that means. Make way for sudden earth shifts. These are big. And then worry not about what others do or treat me like. It's going to be okay, they said. Even if it hurts. So it's like healing in the heart. More healing in the heart. Yeah, I can see that. Drawing out the pain and the sadness of how people have treated me on this journey. Yep. And the way like, certain things have happened, and they're like pouring a river of like what looks like gold. But it's, I think, also related to the river of silver and gold and pouring it into my heart space. I heard justice served again, and things should have never happened that with certain ways. They should not have. So I hear make way for sudden recognitions. And even strangers circling back in that, like forgiveness things. Oh, that reminds me of the forgiveness she was bringing through on day 1, was it? Oh. Oh, there's more. Oh. And then I feel more rain coming down from the heavens, just cleansing and purging and cleansing. And cleansing with the river of justice and silver and gold, drawing that up. And then Saint Genevieve is pouring more nectar of light as well as pushing stuff up out of my chakras. So the DM not giving me back love hurt me really badly. And in my solar plexus, and also what just Saint did with that energy was not good. It was not. So that's being cleansed and purged out of my solar plexus. Ow, 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 ow. And they are making it right, because that's what I hear.
They are making it right. That's all I'm hearing. I don't know what that means. So they are removing some of her energy also from that of my DM. That's just not right. And I don't like the word disgusting, but that's the feeling I get, and I don't like that. So I'm just going to cleanse and purge that. Oh. She swam in my DM's waters. And that's not good. Made me very upset, actually. I felt raped and I kept saying that. Also cleansing out the issue of the false DM. So all the damage done through the twin flame, the masculine side, to me, is being healed and removed. In my solar plexus. And up through my heart. Ow. And I heard justice served again. Make way for justifications, and then they pour in my heart the river of silver and gold. Oh, there's something still there. And they're pouring all this love into it. Tons of love, just so much love, like one after the other. All these beings that came through, pouring love in there where it should have come to me from the DM. They're just bringing in lots of love there. And removing out all the attacks on it and all the energies that didn't belong. And what happened. So this is a true healing. So they said something about the DM and DF alignment, healing that. And this is a healing of all of that. And giving the DM insight to all that occurred and what was me and what was not. Oh, it hurts. And when just it attacked me, it was something with a Merkaba, and it came out and was like stabbing me on both sides. Oh, I'm feeling that damage, that wound and what happened, and it was actually very extremely painful, and I remember that. It's like I was like getting rid of it. It felt like these two very sharp, and it was like the Merkaba was broken apart and reversed, and oh my God. Ow. Ow. There is a karmic kickback for just saying, and Amy with that one. They're saying I keep hearing Amy and just, ow. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Ow. Saint Genevieve was like, I'm sorry, it has to be done. And she keeps like pushing stuff up. Ow. Ow. Oh. Oh. Ow. Oh, it feels like oh, and I see all this pain from what they did to me, from Gigi to just saying and Amy and mocking me, and actually would laugh behind my back and talk so much shit about me. They're saying it's not even funny. And even Amy partook more than she said she did. It even did it to you. So it would like talk about me to you. And they were not truths. Misguided justifications and judgments. Ow. 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 It feels like this cut coming from the inside up, and St. Genevieve's like, I'm sorry, it's got to come out, and keeps pushing, and it like really hurts. Ow, and it's cutting through my throat. It felt like an inside knife, like slitting all the way up my heart, and now it's in my throat, and it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. Ow, ow. Oh. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Ow, and it hurts like in my head, like it went through my throat, and that's relieved, but it's still like remnants, and it's like, oh, the damage they did to my path, and it's not okay. But they're saying not only that, they hurt mankind in more ways than one by doing that. And how they viewed the sun, the god of the sun, me. And it's like burning out of the energy of mankind. Oh. And it was not meant to be that way, and they don't want me to think it was. Or to think that they aren't doing anything, like nothing is going to be served. Justice is going to be served. In every way. You reap what you sow, and that's what they say. Oh. Now it's like on the other side, and it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Oh. This is not pleasant. It hurts so bad. It almost looks like a pentagram. Like it's like sharp edges, and it reminds me of when just Saint attacked me, and I was like trying to purge it and heal it on that video, and it was like this sharp points of what looked like a broken Merkaba rising out of my system. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. I just heard there's I was like, there's relief, and then I heard there's a little bit left. It's a little bit left. Okay. Oh. And she's like pushing it up, and pushing it out. This one's coming from my root chakra all the way up. So to damage my foundation and the new earth foundation, to sabotage the journey, the timeline. Oh. Oh. Ow. 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 It's weird. It's very painful. Ow. 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 I also see it coming out of my son. Ow. 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 Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Oh. Breathe through, breathe through. They said breathe through. Ooh. Ow. Oh. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. It's still rising. Very slowly. Very slowly. Ow. Oh, it's rising very slowly. Oh. Oh. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Ow, it hurts. I feel more raindrops just coming down with lots of love and cleansing. I needed that right then. I really did. Like a recognition for what I'm going through from God. And now healing the damage. Oh. Oh. Oh, something's still coming. Oh God, I feel it. Oh my God. What the world is? This is so painful. Now I know why I was feeling that way. That's what they're saying. Ow, ow. Ah. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Oh. Oh. It's like the sharpest pain in the right side up into my heart chakra now. Oh, and it hurts. I feel it into my shoulders and everything. Like it hurts really bad. And my arm. Now my arm's coming up. Oh. And what happened with me in the DM thing? That should have never happened. And nobody seemed to even recognize what really happened there. Ow. Ah. Oh, it hurts. This hurts. Oh. 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 Ow. 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 Ow.
sacrifice I made, they're saying, was not even recognized. Ow! 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 Oh my God, echoing what Amy said, she's like, well, you need to learn some lesson there. And I was like, it isn't about that. Something's happening. And everybody just watched and mocked me and like, ow, 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 ow. Oh, it hurts right here. It hurts. It feels so weird. Please. Oh, my arm. Oh, I don't know where to put it for comfort. Oh. They cleansed it all out of my bones, like fragments of yuck and muck that broke my arm. It was not a normal thing. There was like this big, huge spike we had to pull out of it later, and like energetically, like it was attacked when my DM was with the fallen. And I was strong. I stayed so strong, and I dealt with so much pain. It was unbelievable, and I did it, and I kept going, and I didn't have surgery, and it's so messed up, and I just saw like my bones shatter, and all this like darkness come out, and all this light just like turned to light. It hurt so bad. Ow. And I heard you are tough. Yeah. I surprised myself how tough I was. And then I'm surrounded by lions. All the lions just came through. I am the goddess of the lions. God of the lions, goddess of the lions. Ow. The lions love the sun, by the way. Lions love the sun. They are guided by the sun. And we're even worshipped. And this is also a connection to cats being worshipped, because they are a feline tribe. Cats are part of that trickle down. I see this now. Like, there's something going on in my reality I don't want to talk about, but it's like, it relates, and I'm like, oh. There's still more coming out, it's just not as painful, so I'm just holding space. Whoa, vivid colors in my mind's eye. And then I see the Hasana hand in my mind's eye, my third eye. I keep getting the image of the Hasana hand. I think that's what it is. With the eye in the middle of the palm. That took a lot out of me. So she's reaching down and pulling something else out. So when my DM died, there's energies present that don't belong, so they're cleansing those out. Justifications. River of justice of silver and gold is what I keep hearing, and now they're pouring more down. So all of the angels that came through, angels of mercy, Saint Josephine and Joseph. I don't know why I'm seeing a masculine and feminine version of that, but I am, for whatever reason. Ow. Ow, ow. Angel of grace. Ow. Oh, it's, ow. Ow, it's like, pointy, sharp, going up the heart chakra. Ow, son of a, it hurts. It hurts. Ow. And they're pulling out what looks like a massive cross. Not an ankh. It looks like a massive bloody cross. Didn't Jesus rise out of the river? What is going on? So they're pulling out like a massive bloody cross. This is the end. This is weird. This is so strange. This is overwhelming a little bit because of my whole journey is somewhat processing through here these last few days. This is the river of justice of silver and gold. That's what they keep saying. To all what was done to the light, to God. And then it's like I just drank the poisons. Ow! 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 Wait, the other day I processed segments. That's right. Oh, this hurts. Ow! It's like really blocky. It's really harsh to come out. Oh my God, help me. And when I said that I saw more rain, like whoosh. He's like, I am. I feel like I'm purging everything I undid, and this is the river of justice of silver and gold. The river of justice of silver and gold.
Ow. Ow. Mordecai? Mordecai. I'm hearing Mordecai. Mordecai is stepping forward. Mordecai. Oh. And it's not right that I haven't known who my DM is. That's coming up. And I hear Mordecai. Mordecai is... I don't... Mordecai. It's very loud.
Okay, so I didn't look up Mordecai until just now because I was bringing this through, so I'm actually getting more knowledge of this now than I did then. And Mordecai is, I talk about Babylon a lot and how people treated. If enough people chose to rise, Babylon would be saved, right? But they didn't. And so that has been coming out a lot. But Mordecai deals with that time. And what I just processed was the cross and the poisoning of Jesus. And when I undid the Holy Grail and all of that, we also called back the Merkabah symbol from the Jews. And what happened to Jesus and everything was poisoned by... he was poisoned and died slowly, and then they took his blood and created the Holy Grail. So Mordecai came in the end of that. So I didn't realize that. And so they're not saying a lot about, other than Babylon idol, Mordecai. I'm reading about it right now because I didn't even remember it said that. He was carried into captivity with Jeconiah, and hence must have been at least 129 years old in the 12th year of whatever. I don't know. It does have something to do with Babylon and the end and Judaism. So that's really something to take note of. The fact that Mordecai came through, he was a Jewish captive. So Mordecai just came through as I threw up the cross, and he was a Jewish captive, and the cross was false. I told you that. Jesus did not die on a cross. They ripped our souls apart. John the Apostle, I believe it was, is the one who poisoned him, but it was through the fallen. And there were 4 others there. And this is part of what I've been undoing. And you guys, I just realized that I said that. I didn't even realize I said that. Mordecai, he was a Jewish captive in Persia. He had, yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot to process. It all makes sense. And the Holy Grail was written in Hebrew, in Jesus's blood. But I wouldn't read it because it was darkness, and it's what trapped the earth and mankind. And during the symbol calling back, we called back the Merkabah from the Jewish sector and from all divisions of the light, which is the religion divisions of the light. And the cross is burned, and you can even see that in the painting on the wall that I channeled through before I did this work.
Oh. Holy crap, this is a lot. But I don't want to quit. I'm ready for whatever's next. So they're pouring in more of the river of silver and gold and justice into my heart space. Angel of mercy and the angel of grace and Saint Joseph and Saint Josephine energies. Alcon Queen, the dragon that's been coming around me is also right by me. And I'm surrounded by lions. This is my journey. It's like everything that's happened, everything that I've cleared, everything that I'm processing, and I keep hearing river of justice, silver and gold. This is biblical. This is not normal. This is, of course, none of it is, but I'm trying to grasp the reality here. This is a lot. It's like overwhelming.
Yeah. So then during the blood moon last night, I did another one. And it came through more of further understanding of what
Hello.
that is.
Welcome to our full blood moon on this March 13th. I am doing this in the evening as we are inching into the maximum degree of the full moon energy. I have no idea what's going to come through with this.
By the way, this one ended at 55.
One, and you'll have to forgive me because I got a little too much sun today because I spent the time soaking up the energy of the earth, and I got a little bit of a headache, so I did drink some water, and I am pushing through it, so we are going to do just fine. I am now lighting the Palo Santo to open up for this healing today. So as I'm doing that, I just ask for you to be relaxing as much as you can with every breath. Feet on the floor if you can, and palms facing up in receptive mode as I call in our energies for this full moon transmission. Of course, the highest light in and the highest light out.
So these are on Patreon.
And
that's where I do the full moon healing.
Remove all energies that do not belong. Is to frequencies that don't align to the highest. Okay. All right, so I have my drum in my hands. My feet are on the ground, and we're going to call forth the Creator and all the angels and beings that wish to be with us.
So this one aligns with day 3 and day 8 of birthing new earth. Okay, it comes out in here and also references this one. This one. God shifted plans, the portal of the Nile is now. If you watch that one, there's a specific scenery and the river, and we're going to understand more of what the river of justice is in here and the 3 days of darkness.
For this transmission today, for the full blood moon. So we're going to kind of begin by drawing the sun and the moon down. We're going to gently draw down the sun and the moon from above us. The full moon and the sun coming down from the heavens above to help balance and cleanse our energy, remove what's already been done, and make way for what's to come. This full moon is all about leaving the past behind. The blood on the moon,
the Nile,
the eclipse, return of Christ. I do see a scroll coming in. I don't know if it's the one they gave me from before or what that means at this point. I just see it in the energy. So I'm drawing down the moon and the sun together with the energy of the great northern star. The gods and goddesses are surrounding the earth and this transmission in every way. The council is also coming in. I see the Galactic Council, the Council of Light, surrounding me. I get the image of standing or sitting, myself sitting on top of what looks like red rocks, like a cliff. Rocks high up in the sky, looking down upon the earth, looking down upon people from where I am, up on this rock. Off in the distance, I see what looks like the Nile. That's what I see. The river of justice in front of me. The river of justice is the Nile. So relax your feet on the floor, palms facing up in receptive mode, closing your eyes in connection to the internal flow, to the internal light. The angels and beings of light and your higher self and the energy is coming in all around us, all around you and mine, all around me. Our ancestors, the gods and the goddesses, and all elementals and elements. So mote it be. The fairies and dragons surrounding us now, coming in to grace us with their presence of abundance and light and love. I see beings of light and angels surrounding us individually, prepping our energy, cleansing our auric field, bringing in the cosmic rays of ethereal expansion and connection. I really truly am seeing the Nile off in front, which is what they're calling the river of justice. Remember the soul cleanse? I purged at the river of justice. Depending upon which side of the river we are on. So this reminds me of when I did the Nile workshop and I implemented it into the earth, and I was sitting up on the rock, up on like a cliff below me, and looking off amongst the people and seeing the Nile River off in the distance. And some try to cross the Nile. Some make it across and some do not. The river of justice. But I've seen this before. I've seen this image before. This energy. 13. It's the 13th gate. Blood moon. My DM is coming in and sitting right beside me. And the energy. Surrounded by lions and tigers and trees. Gambalayo, Pareria. Drawing down now the moon and the sun from up above with the northern star coming down into our upper chakra connections, that of our higher self and our guides. I'm getting an upgraded guide. So we're getting new guides, whoever that may be. It might be an upgrade, and it might be something equal, I'm not sure, for you. But we're getting new guides. I can't see the totality of the energies present, but I can see I'm getting a new guide, and so are you. Everything looks kind of red. The ground, like stones, are red. And then there's the river, the Nile. It's the Nile. We have the moon and the sun coming together. Above us, they are coming together. The moon and the sun are coming together. Coming together. So I'm drawing down those energies together through our upper chakras. Cleansing and removing debris in our upper chakras. Coming down, further down to the 18th. 22nd was also heightened. 17th. 16th. Archangel Raguel is also coming in and surrounding me in bubbles of light. Surrounding us in bubbles of light. Individually, we will receive bubbles of light for a frequency shift. Or whatever is needed for us individually. So mine might be a frequency shift because that's what I'm hearing. And then yours might be something else, a cleansing of a sort, right? Some form of cleansing that is required for you at this time. So there'll be different bubbles from Archangel Raguel in our auric field. As I further draw down the light of the moon and the sun, the moon and the sun, and God's hand is above us. God's hand is above the moon and the sun. He has both the moon and the sun in his hands. God's hand has the moon and the sun in it. And he's filling it right now with the max amount of Christ light. The mass amount of God's light, Christ light. Mine and my DM connected highly. That's what I see. And I also see a lotus flower beneath the moon and the sun. A lotus flower. So we draw this light down from the moon and the sun, separate. It's still doing two things here. So I'm drawing down the energy through our chakra system. Still focused in the 18th. And God's hand is filling the moon and the sun with so much light of the one. I hear the names Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I hear the name Sekhmet and Horus. And I hear the name Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. Balaio, balagantayo, leo. I also see on the other side of the Nile, it's turning dark, pitch black. God is bringing over the moon to align with the sun in the new earth. In the new earth. It's all been done. It's all been done. The moon is coming over across the Nile to be with the sun, to align with the sun, to become one. It's all been done. A new eclipse, you see, unlike any other, that changes the world like you've never seen before, and you will never see again. It's all been done. The moon and the sun, it's all been done. Coming together, the moon and the sun, it's all been done. It's all been done. It's all been done. The moon becoming one with the sun, and God's light uniting all under one, all under one. You see, the moon and the sun are now on the side of the new earth, and on the other side of the Nile, it's pitch black. It's so black. It's so dark. There's no light. There's no light. It's so dark. There's no light.
By the way, that goes with day 6. All light comes over to the new earth. No light remains in the matrix. Under the hand of Creator, Balakandaya, we are now at the river of the Nile, the river of justice, the river of justice, the river of heart review. Drawing down now the light into the 17th chakra, the moon and the sun, and the northern star too. Then all of a sudden, I see all of the gods, the masculine gods, lining up behind my DM sitting next to me. And I see all of the goddesses aligning behind me. Then all of the angels, the beings of light, it's time to rise now. It's time to unite. It's time to rise now. It's time to unite. I see Saint Germain with the Akasha records. Baalakandaya.
So as I stated before, the moon is aligning with the sun, and the hand of creation, the creator of all things, right above it. Then through the light of his hand, through the sun and the moon, down into the core of the earth. God's light, Creator's light, my DM and I, going through the sun and the moon, all the way down into the core, like a big lightning drawing strike of light, but it's steady. It doesn't go away. A steady ray of light from the one through the moon and the sun, from the sun and the moon, all the way down into the core of the earth, into the core of the earth, into the core of the earth. Then I see blood, yeah, it turns to the red, yeah, it's time to be just. It's time to be just. Time to be just. And then I see the barrier of light expanding across the earth, a division of light and shadow. Shadow on one side and light on the other. And crossing the Nile, you must be pure light. Carrying the light down now into the 16th, the 15th, the 14th, and the 13th chakra. And the gates of heaven open. I see the gates of heaven. Like these big, huge golden gates. They are glowing so white light they look golden. And they are now open as of today. I left no stone unturned, you see. It's all been cleared, it's all been cleared. No shadow shall remain on the earth anymore. The gates of heaven are opened now. The door is open. The door of new earth. Heaven on earth, as above, so below. 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 I see water drawing up from the surface of the earth like it's floating in the air. Like everything is becoming so weightless. I see darkness, pure darkness on one side, and nothing but light and heaven on the other. The scroll being handed over by God. The hand of God handing me a scroll. The light is staying in our 13th chakra. The The Nile is in front of me, and on one side it's all darkness. On this side now we have the moon and the sun together, and the light of the one going down to the core, creating the barrier of the division of light and shadow, where two worlds collide and only one will remain. In the light of the one, the sun and the moon, it's all been done. It's right in front of you too. It's all been done. From out of the gates, my DM and I are there. It's him and I coming out of the sky. And I will read the scroll. Ya ya wa le yang kon ta wa ya ta ya kampai ya la ka to ai ya ta wa lo ya kampai ya la ya kampai la ka like a solar flash came out of the sky through the sun and the moon and left everything dark on one side. Like a great strike of lightning. Goodbye. I see the earth shake, a volcano erupt. It's like addressing the world with who we are, telling them look up. Great crack in the earth, a big shaking, a volcano erupting, all the energy moving, so much energy. She can barely handle it on her own. So as I read this scroll, it's like addressing the world, telling them who we are and what's been done, the story, all the way back to the moon and the sun. The veil is gone, the division has come, the end of a line of the world unjust. It's the end of the line. And now it's time. And now it's time. And then I see the figure 8, like on the 8th day of birthing the new earth. The figure 8, the life and death and rebirth cycle, the portal of time, the portal of life, the portal of rebirth. And as they cross the river of justice, some come to the side, but others might go up, and others go on the wayside. justice for all that's done. The moon and the sun for what's been done. It's time to see what you have done. The world before the end has come. It's time to be done. It's time for a reset of what's been done. You see, we've done it all. It's all been cleared. It's all been cleared. From Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Gambada can die, oh, Gambada can die, oh. To Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. Gambada Eve, Gambada can die. All time is being brought to right now. Everything's being combined into the now, to here and now, to here and now. And the gates are open. The gates are open now. The 13th gate, this is the portal of heaven. This is it. The gates are open. They are open. It's time to rise now. It's time to rise. It's time to rise or meet a karmic demise for what has been done under the sun and the moon and the sun and the moon and the earth and the love of the light of the one. It's time for what's been done to be brought forth and seen by all. Gambala can die. 3 days of darkness, the moon and the sun have become one. The moon and the sun have become one. The moon and the sun have become one. It's all been fixed. It's all been taken care of. It's all undone. The earth has shifted. And we've made it now to the final portal. We are here. Heaven on earth is here before you. It's here right now. The sun and the moon, the light of the one, it's all combined into now. From Jesus and Mary Magdalene to Sekhmet and Horus and Adam and Eve, becoming one. We're becoming one. We're becoming one. We're becoming one. Under the sun and the moon, the sun and the moon, we are all now one. We are one. Our souls are home. We've combined now back to the one. The sun and the moon, full power return to him and I. This is true. To him and I. I've been in a transition, they're saying. And now my light will return. Under the sun and the moon, becoming one. We chose each other again and again and again. We've become one. So him and I are becoming one on this earth. Our souls combined into one. The sun and the moon, the sun and the moon, him and I. One soul. Baleke andayo. From all timelines. One soul. Bawakala. Then I see God's hand shoving down the light, going down through the sun and the moon. Is it just aligned, going down into my DM and I, becoming one. The gates are open, and we rise now. We rise now. We rise see our DNA becoming one through the center line of him and I. It's like double helixes lighting up, becoming one to the center of my soul. We've been made whole, and God is recognizing that. We are completely whole. We are one under the moon and the sun together. We have become whole. This explains day 3 now. The light came through the sun and the moon, and he and I are one. We are one. We are one. We are able to combine into the light of the sun and the moon completely. Completely, you see, it's really big. I can't even describe how big this is. The sun and the moon are one again. And we are at the river of justice. I feel very strange. Hang on. I feel very strange. I don't feel normal right now. I'm very sweaty and dizzy and tingly, and I don't feel. It's all this light, and I see this whoa. Aha. We are becoming one. The DNA of God has been healed back to the light of the sun and the moon. We stand with the light of the sun and the moon. We are the light of the sun and the moon. We've become one. Our souls have fully become one again. It's a little painful. It's like we are rising up together as one, rising up into the gates, rising up together as one, rising up into the gates. Through God's hand, it's like he's pulling our souls together because we're whole again. We're one. We're one. All 3 timelines have been cleared, and we've been reunited, and we're aligned, and we are one. And we're being drawn up through God's hand. It's like he's raising us up, and we're going through the gates. It's intense. It's like this massive pressure, massive pull. It's very powerful. And then we go through the gate. It's like this pure white portal of light. This is the gate of heaven. This is heaven on earth. The 13th gate, the 13th portal. And some will rise to bluer skies. Some will rise out of the darkness. The river of justice is flowing. It's here. This is where we're at. This is where we are at. The river of judgment and justice. One side is the matrix, the fallen. The other is new earth. The portal of life and rebirth. So far I only see him and I rising.
The portal is open, the portal is here, and we are rising into the gates of heaven. Together as one, our souls are one. We are completely one, and God will not accept less, especially after what's been done. We cleared it all. We are united on all three levels. We are one. We truly are one again, and the DNA has been lit up and combined into the light and the hand of the one, the sun and the moon, and into the core of the earth. It's time. It's time you see the truth. It's time you see the truth. Like a big light switch, boom, going off in front of you. 3 days of darkness, a big surge of light. So somehow they're aligning the 3 lifetimes with the 3 days of darkness. It's like you're passing through the river of justice in a measurement of those 3 spans of life. Those 3 spans of life. Does that make sense? And each one is a big, huge measurement. All lifetimes combined. So I don't know how else to explain this because it's hard to fathom in the mind. The Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the Sekhmet and Horus, and the Adam and Eve. Those are the 3 timelines I've been clearing and reuniting with my DM through. Those represent the 3 days of darkness for all of mankind. That's what represents the 3 days of darkness for all of mankind. It's like a hand of judgment, a hand of karma. 3 days of darkness through those portals of time. But all of your lifetimes are combined to pass through those 3 testament, like, I don't know how else to say this. It's a big deal. Those 3 points where we became one again. A major karmic shift applied. So the earth is going through them. That will be the 3 days of darkness. And only God knows what's on the other side. He says, some will rise through the portal to the gates of heaven, to be able to be in the space of the earth, of the one, the sun, and the moon, and Adam and Eve have returned, but we are complete. It's everything. And others will go to the other side to finish learning lessons there, to grow there, which takes more time. And then the darkness, the side of the red, the blood, the lava, the undone. They are cut off from the light of the one, the light of the sun, the light of the moon. They are cut off from support. The angels will not go there anymore. Image is like God shed a tear for me. God shed a tear and it fell down on me directly from his eye. An honor and a little of sorrow from the pain that I went through. And I deserve
be seen. God is asking for a moment of honor for all that's been done, the suffrage I've been through, the pain of the sun and the moon that was unjust. The 3 days of darkness is a mourning, a time of mourning, a time to question your faith. For what is your faith? It will be shown, it will be tested. What is your faith? What is your faith? And then God placed a tear of blood in the river of the Nile in honor of his son, in honor of the original Adam. God just placed a tear of blood in the river in honor of Adam, in honor of my DM. He honored him and said goodbye. Everybody's faith will now be tested. To determine whose side you were on, the light or that of not. The time has come. The time has come. The 13th. The time has come. From this moment forward, your faith on earth will be tested. The time has come. The river of justice and judgment and silver and gold. See, it determines which side of the portal you're on, if it's justice or judgment. My DM and my DNA are going into the new earth, into the trees, the grass and the breeze, the sun and the moon. So all of the work I did in birthing the new earth, God just put us together. We rose through the portal of new earth into the gates, and now our light, our DNA, is creating everything. It's just going into and becoming a part of everything. Everything under the sun and the moon is us. It's our DNA. The trees, the water, the food, the light, the breeze, the weather, the birds, and the animals too, are all from and of the light and light of the one. God put it together. We rose, we become one. And now everything in the new earth is under that. And rightfully so. That's why they were changing the DNA. What is your faith? Is it God? Is it truth? Is it love? Or is it ego, fear, greed, and judgment? Is it time for you to rise above, or are there still lessons of learning you must conquer? I see all the animals rising into the new earth, going through the portal. See, I'm not just creating it this time. It's happening. This is the portal, just like I said. And now, everyone will be tested in their faith. Do they turn away, or do they rise? The time is today. 3 days of darkness is on its way. The 3 days of darkness represents the 3 lifetimes of Adam and Eve of separation. You see, one was called Jesus and Mary Magdalene. The other was Sekhmet and Horus and the sun and